Yeah, we good. We good.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So,
here we go.
What's been going on, man? What you been up to, bro?
Man, you asked me that last time, bro. Well,
Did you go to farmer's market this week? Like, how was it?
That's what you're asking? No, I haven't been this week.
To buy your non-GMO, non-Monsanto vegetables?
What is this, like a truthy advertisement or something? Like, have you visited your farmer's market this week?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been, but there's definitely one a couple blocks from me every Sunday. I don't know.
I go there every time, man. I gotta get myself some good fresh heirloom tomatoes.
Oh, heirloom?
Heirloom, baby.
Oh, right. Yeah, the motherfucking tomatoes. Yeah, because I'm not supposed to eat them store-bought tomatoes because they got them acids in them. And them the sugars and them motherfucking GMO. Yeah, tomatoes seem to be one of those things that always comes up when they talk about, like, gene splicing and shit. Like, a fucking tarantula gene allele with, regular tomato.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The thing is, the laws on labeling GMOs, are, like, different, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that, but, like, Rand Paul was, like, against labeling GMOs. What a fucking bitch.
What, GMOs, yeah. That's one thing. Yeah, or food, I don't know. I've been trying to drink a lot of water, but I don't know, because fools be saying, like, don't drink water out of plastic bottles, especially them thin shits. And then I don't know what to do. I can't really drink tap water. I have one of them Brita filters, but then that seems iffy. Like, my friend said that shit was mad cloudy and whatever. So what can I do? Like, I don't know. I'm stuck.
We're like what's his name? Edward Snowden.
Edward Snooty
We're not gonna reveal our location, but around the area where we live here, we actually have the cleanest tap water in America.
No, I believe it, but even still, like, I live in a building that's old and has old pipes that haven't been replaced probably since like the 60s or something, or like a long ass time. Yeah, so no matter how clean the water is that's being pumped in supposedly from the main spring or wherever the fuck it comes from, it's going through those pipes, all the shit in there, and freaking rust.
I filter my water, man.
Oh yeah, well sure, that's what I'm saying.
I use that Berkey blue.
I use that.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
No, there's the Ecolo blue, and then there's Berkey, which is a different.
So
company.
E. coli blue.
E. coli blue.
That's the one that gives you E. coli.
With arsenic and tangy, tangy fucking poison, botulism or something. But yeah. Maybe Alex Jones poisoned that Russian spy, remember? Oh no, he was like irradiated, wasn't he? Remember that fool like 7 years ago?
Here's what I have to say about water filters, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Alright. When a water filter filters your water, it basically retains all the filth and all the arsenics and all the fucked up poisons in that filter. And a lot of people don't know that you have to change that filter every once in a while, that you have to clean it out, and they just let it sit, and then it tastes the water, and it's like, hey, it's filtered, huh? It's filtered. Drink that. It's filtered. It's good for you. It's filtered. Yeah, like, and I drink it, it's like, and it tastes like tastes not just unfiltered, it tastes like even worse because all the accumulation of scum is stuck in that filter.
And
so
John knows about
even more scummy.
You know a lot about accumulation of scum in many facets of life, do you not? Okay. So, motherfuckers go to... Tell us what it's like to be a musician. Give us the high points, the low points. I don't know why I transitioned to that. Well, I just had a question that popped into my head.
Here's what I have to say about being a musician. It's if you want to be a musician and get rich...
do the gayest.
Try something else.
Stuff possible. Oh, right, exactly. Not be a musician. What I'm saying is
music is not, don't be a musician if you want to get rich.
Now, let me interrupt you here. If you expect to
get rich, unless you're willing to do some pretty fucked up shit or some gay shit or something. Or kill somebody or
in the words of the
sacrifice someone or some shit.
In the words of Jack Blood, if most people knew what it takes to make it, quote unquote, in the music industry, they wouldn't even start. Yeah. They wouldn't. But anyways, but it's also a beautiful thing. Tunes and all that shit. Now what? Now it's funny.
It's so believable.
When I was taking drum lessons and guitar lessons when I was 11 or 12, I remember my teacher, who was a kid up the street, who was 18. He's like, Scott, don't get involved. He's like, don't do music. There's zero money. He's like, do magic instead, because he also was like a magician type cat. And he's like, dude, way more money in Magic. He's like, music pays shit. That's it. Like, he clued me in on this when I was pretty young.
Magic, you don't have much competition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like unless you're Burt Wonderstone, you don't grow up to want to be.
How many musicians would you say you see at the promenade every day?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Where?
How many musicians?
No, I heard what you said, but yeah, at
the
catwalk near where we live, near
the
here.
Austin Promenade.
Yeah, exactly. The Austin city limits. Okay. I don't spend that much time in this mythical Narnia land you call a promenade, but also I mean, yes, you see musicians, you see street musicians, magicians not as much probably.
Exactly. There's
maybe
no
like
competition.
maybe like break dancers.
Yeah, you might see one musician like every once in a while, or
you mean magician?
Yeah, one.
You see,
I said magician, right?
No, you said you might see one musician every so often.
I said magician. magician.
But there is even
musician.
Jujician.
That would be you.
You just, I get it. Like, you can maybe get up on stage at a comedy club and do like, if you're a magician, maybe your competition is more like stand-up comedians. Would you say that? Just like performers that aren't necessarily musical. You know,
just look. You got to look at the market, and it's all about supply and demand. You know, I study markets.
You're a market student. Yeah.
I am a marketist.
At what is that?
I study markets, and I look at like what's hot.
You study the farmers
and
market.
What's not.
Yeah.
And but it's also, there's another element. What is something that no one is providing?
But music is a high supply and high demand.
Where can you go that you don't have competition?
Right. You want a corner. You want a corner to market.
Yeah, those are very important business.
And
models.
Music at this stage of the game, you can't corner music. There's huge demand and there's huge supply, really huge supply, more than ever, and more than ever demand. But yeah, for something like Magic, let's say, it's more of a. Like, that's more cornered by your Penn and Tellers and David Copperfields, right?
Because music is so dominated, but there's so much competition that it becomes dominated by whoever can make it in through, just being related or being a drug dealer like Jay-Z or being,
don't mention that fool.
Sacrificing a family member or a best friend or something like that. You know what I mean?
Now we're on to
doing some gay shit.
Oh. Faggot stuff.
Oh!
Now that we're on, so to segue from the dark corner to another.
They're gonna come after me, by the way.
So it's
all like they did to Tupac.
Oh no, man! Well, you'll be hologram back in the game.
Tupac called all these fools gay and shit. And
Pimp C was on that level too. He was like,
Russell
Simmons is a faggot or whatever.
Old dirty bastard, like all these fools.
Oh shit, he was
dirty bastard was dissing Bush. He was like. It's like Bush and them niggas trying to kill me.
Dude, Kanye's probably behind, maybe, I don't know, Kanye squashed the beef with Bush. Maybe he had to, take part in ODB's passing, but that was all way before. That was way before.
Bush's people went and paid Kanye a visit.
That's true, too, right? All right,
they said, look, we're going to have to ask you to apologize to the president. They sent him a nice email like they did to Bob Woodward. You know what I mean?
Oh,
nice. Really nice. It would be nice if you would just retract what you said.
He's like, as your deepest friend,
as your best friend. Yeah, deepest friend. I love that.
As you will regret. I swear, and I love you, and I want to kiss your ass.
But you will regret it. I mean, come on, the word regret.
We
clearly says it all.
Clearly, we are eating. We will not tell you what, but we're munching something. It's good though, right? Anyways, thank you. Baked by. My brother.
We'll tell you we're not
Seymour Sycamore. Oh God, you really want to make that point? That is, dude, total discreditation of this show when you do that. No one's gonna take the opinion format. You're right, man. We always discuss that. Anyways, so it's almost July 4, which is America's birthday. So, and we think at least
birthday, America.
If it's anything like last year, July 4th, which is sort of like the middle point of the year, it's the dividing line of any given year. And right after this, last year is when they started unleashing all the craziest shit. So there was stuff going on in the first part of the year, but after basically the July 4th and the sort of midsummer time, it really did heat up, and that's what I've sort of predicted.
I have to bring something up. Something big happened today.
Wow.
There was another coup. in Egypt.
Oh yeah, this
today.
Egypt shit has been going ham hard.
They have deposed the dictator there, the new dictator, I guess, the one that replaced the old one.
Well,
Mohammed Morsi, who we've been sending billions of dollars to.
So now the Egyptian military, through the will of the people, ousted Morsi, but then they suspended the constitution and they're looking for a new dictator, basically.
Yeah, we've been sending millions, sorry, not billions, millions to that regime, I think. Maybe even billions, I don't even know.
Well, we always
Muslim
fuck with
Brotherhood,
billions.
of course. The Muslim Brotherhood is the terrorist group that spawned Al-Qaeda and Hamas. All right? And these are people that we're sending money to. You know what I mean? And they're over there. What the media's been talking about this protest a little bit.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? But they're calling it an anti-Mohammed Morsi protest. But they're not mentioning it. It's really an anti-Obama protest. Like if you look at all the pictures and the footage and all that, there's all these banners saying Obama is supporting terrorists, wake up America, and all this stuff.
And is there any? Oh yeah, because they're all occupied. It's basically Occupy
the Egyptians
Cairo.
Are not stupid. They get that Morsi is a puppet of the U.S.
But is it any wonder that the president, who's a clone of an ancient pharaoh, is getting protested in Egypt now? Which that would have been what happened in the old days too, right?
Because remember, there's this big point in Obama's career at the beginning of his presidency where he gave this big speech in Cairo.
It was Cairo too.
Americans are not so different from Muslims. And shit, you know what I mean? Remember that speech?
I could get it. We good. No, I'm interrupting.
So yeah, whatever, man. We just had a little glitch. My bad, but yeah. So I think I was just saying, Egypt is having revolutions now every year, which is, I guess, what our forefathers wanted, like a constant state of revolution where we're just overthrowing our government every couple years, except they're doing it every 2 years or whatever. And our forefathers said every 4 years.
They didn't want us to overthrow the government in a violent fashion. Maybe he said every 20 or 30 years.
Not necessarily a violent. They didn't say violent. They didn't use the word violent revolution. They said America should have a revolution every 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an election, a revolution of
But elections aren't really much of revolutions nowadays, are they? You know,
yeah, they're a revolution in whackness because everyone is worse than the last.
A revolution is a change, you know what I mean? It's a drastic.
Actually, it's a cycle. It just means
cycle.
Something spinning around one time. That's what a revolution is. It means the cycle of bullshit.
It's like basically changing diapers. I think George Carlin or somebody said that. Elections are like changing the diapers, you know what I mean? Because just
sort of, yeah.
It just all this shit accumulates.
Yep, you take it off, wipe it clean, and put a new one on. But you're not really. But they're really more like changing into another shitty diaper because
what happened in Egypt was definitely not an election. It was a coup d'état.
It's some crazy shit. There's some Muslim Brotherhood shit going on over there. And
Muslim Brotherhood just got overthrown.
But they still, despite all the
people, a good thing, I guess.
Well, supposedly, but the military took over.
Well, the military took over last time too. So
and look who they put in, Mr. Muslim Brotherhood. Wah, wah, wah. But the will of the people.
They didn't want Muslim Brotherhood. That's why now what are they going to replace it with? They want a democracy. They want something,
Military don't want that. The people are there, but they're still
subservient to people. They're people, just like us.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know? What do you mean? You always
because they're humans.
But you always talk smack about cops and all these people in the military,
because they're but not.
But you could be a corrupt
like I said,
human.
I'm not an absolutist. Of course, there are bad cops, but there are also good cops. There are bad military.
But why would you trust something like the Egyptian military to make excellent decisions for Earth?
I don't know. Maybe because they're in a country that has a lot of people that will stand up and be angry and overpower the military. The military would not be able to handle what you're seeing from space and all that around Tahrir Square. You know what I mean? So they have to basically obey the people. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, look, it's like, sorry, Mr. President, but the people are giving us no choice but to arrest you. We can't really fight this. Look at this. Can you see this from space? Yeah. You know what I mean? So the Egyptian military. And maybe that's why we've been sending millions of dollars to their military, is to try to suppress
militarillions of dollars. Okay, so so it's heating up. So is it really going to affect the world as much as we would like it to?
It should. I mean, but it's hilarious that they know more about our politics than we know about our politics. You know what I'm saying? They get that Morsi is a
not
puppet.
Everyone.
They get that Morsi is Obama's bitch. There was one banner that said, "Obama, your bitch is our dictator." You know what I mean?
Bitch, dick. I like the phraseology right there.
No, because Egyptians don't give a fuck. They're not like all these like radical Muslims like types. Like they're like really like.
Oh, they're
more
cool.
like us. No, Egyptians are more like us. Like,
Did they smoke? I heard you get like the best weed in the world from Egypt.
Yeah,
or I heard that back in the day.
They have a younger. You can understand like the Arab world is a lot younger now than it used to be, and it's a lot of young people. It's a new generation.
Yep, new gen.
Like these people are standing up against like these oppressive regimes. You know, they don't want these regimes anymore.
Yeah, they're going hard.
You know?
They're going hard.
At the same time, there's a radicalization going on too with the.
So maybe George W. Bush was proven right that by invading Iraq and everything, we really would sow the seeds of democracy to lead to all these like revolutions and people's uprisings.
Well, yeah.
So he really was a visionary.
Well, people don't want to get invaded by the United States, so they're like, okay, give us the money. The people rise up against the government because if they don't do it, you know, we're gonna invade that country or something like that and do it for them. You know, that's in Iraq. That's what was happening. The people were starting to rise up against Saddam Hussein. They were gonna overthrow him. He was like losing power already. He had like no more influence. Like he was already starting to cave into like their needs.
He was working on a novel.
Yeah, he was pretty much
like
done
that.
already. Yeah, and so we pretty much couldn't afford to let that happen. To let the people, you know, take out our puppet president. So we're like, okay, we'll go in there and do it for you, and then put another puppet in there. You know what I mean?
What motherfucker? Yeah, well, there's all puppeteers. It's just Egypt. It makes sense that it would be Egypt as sort of a linchpin of our world in general. It's the ancient society, and it's just like Egypt has always been a
huge there,
and it's been a crucial. You know, country. They were the first to make peace with Israel back in the day, and they've basically been cool with Israel for the whole time, even though there's some disputed like land on the border line and all this kind of shit. But it's just I heard that it's the biggest protest ever, somehow involving 30 million people all across the country, and there's like 2 million people in Tahrir Square.
Yeah, I mean, this is happening right now as we speak. It's happening.
There's fools like smoking fucking weed in a large crowd in Egypt.
Oh yeah, I mean it's anarchy.
We talk this.
It's anarchy.
Well, yeah, they do. I saw a lot of laser pointers and lights and shit, like rave looking stuff. They just want to rave, man. They just want to have
But when the people stand up like that in numbers, the military can't really do shit. So that's where the military is like, okay, Morsi, you're gonna have to get out of here, man. We have to put another person in there, somebody who doesn't have the words Muslim Brotherhood associated with him. You know what I mean? And they'll probably put in like a soft socialist, a Fabian socialist in there or something like that.
I am against big business. Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Or no, they'll put a Jew in there.
No, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, no. Maybe a crypto Jew.
They'll put like a secular Muslim, like a moderate.
Here's a question for you: does a Jew run any country in the world besides Israel? Like literally the official president or whatever. My guess would be no. I mean, yeah.
I guess I don't know. I mean,
like any other country, maybe, but I'd be surprised. I don't think it exists. But yeah, we
almost had a Jewish vice president.
That is true. That's the closest we've gotten. That's Libby Joe. Yeah, I mean,
Joe.
He almost got there, but
we've had presidents that were like allegedly like secretly Jews, like Eisenhower.
Yeah, including Obama. Supposedly, no. I mean, I'm sure these like anti-Jewish conspiracy theorists would somehow trace every president or almost everyone to Jew. Like this dude, Brother Nathaniel. Have you ever seen this guy's videos? He's like born a Jew. He's a total like Jewy type guy with the beard and everything. He's like, yeah.
We know that.
Wait, listen. But this dude, Brother Nathaniel, like now he's one of those like Greek Orthodox Christians and just like hates on Jews, like talks mad shit. It's a self-hating thing. That's the problem. What were you saying?
I totally
Bitch fuckly. Anyways, yeah, it's just funny to see a guy who's like a Jew, now a mad Christian, wearing one of those hats, like those black hats with the cross on it and shit. And he's like, the Jewish power structure. They got it on. He's like, he exposes all these people for actually being Jewish, like Rupert Murdoch and fucking all these like media companies and stuff. You get it. Bankers and shit. Just pointing out those fools behind the scenes. But
I don't know.
Figure that out.
Sometimes people confuse Jews with people with Jewish names or Jewish sounding names, or people who might
That's true.
be related to a Jew but not really Jewish in faith.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this, or people who might be Jewish, like brought up Jewish, but don't
Right.
really like.
I mean, Jews are
secular
like
Jews.
Jews. I would say are just like Christians in the sense that they pay lip service to the faith. They don't actually practice the underlying philosophy. They just go by the
and when you get
rituals.
into the like the racial Jewish, like stuff that Hitler would say and stuff like that. He's really talking about Semitic people, and that goes into also Arabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of hypocrisy on that, because Semitic actually is not just Arabs. It's like there's a lot of Christians that are Semitic people also, because Semitic people is just people from that area. Like Eastern.
And the Nazis had a big foothold in North Africa and everything, and that's where the Semitic, sort of like Egypt basically, sort of the core of where Semitic peoples are.
Yeah, and then all
spawned
these,
from.
And what I was gonna say is that all these people we say, all these presidents are like Jews or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're all like somewhat related to like the Queen of England, and the Queen of England it claims to be related to like, like all the royal family people claim to be related to like royal, like to like Jesus's bloodline.
Oh,
stuff
sure,
like that.
yeah,
like
ancient
some kind
demigods.
of ancient Semitic bloodline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I've said ancient a lot because my thinking is new school. On this show,
we got to start thinking futuristic.
Well, yeah, we on some Futurama type shit, but the past is the future.
No, yeah, you gotta
present history is past is present is the future.
Yeah, the history repeats itself. So in order to understand how to predict the future, you have to understand history. This is how I'm always able to predict events, because I study history.
Oh, is that you?
I study history, and
Pickle Man,
and I understand how events have happened before in the past. And how we don't understand why they've happened, how they've happened, and why they've happened.
The inflated ego,
then we're doomed to repeat.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inflated ego, John Montana. Thank you, John.
No, I'm just saying.
This is why. Let me tell you why I'm the shit,
real
quick.
This is how people like Nostradamus and shit like claim they can predict the future. They don't really predict the future. They just
never say we, only I.
Past.
You completely discount the Sycamore Uber presence on the show. No, you said I. You said I.
No, they said this is how
we. No, you said I. There is no I in Wii.
Yeah.
Unless it's Nintendo Wii, which actually has two I's.
But I mean, because I don't want to speak for you. I'm speaking for myself. I know that you.
Oh yeah, we
also
are the X-Men.
Have psychic powers like me, but it's just like I don't want to just. I want you to explain how you do it.
Oh no,
I'm
just hearing
how
your
I
shit.
do it.
I
know how to read people's minds. I watch people how their eyes move. I can tell when somebody's lying just by looking how their eyes are moving around and shit like that.
Oh, you've studied like the FBI manual on how to get an interrogations subject to figure to just betray themselves. It's like some poker type shit. And all that.
Some of that stuff I learned from Doctor.
Who's that? Dr. Oz. See the great and powerful. Which one? Who? Dr. Conrad
the
Murray.
Doctor with the beard.
Who's the doctor with the beard? All doctors have beards, right?
No, the doctor at the high school that teaches.
Teaches
acting.
Doctor. We'll call him Dr. Chevy to protect his identity. Yeah. You mean the like pedophilic yet inspirational?
Dr. Mustang. Yeah.
Dr. Mustang is a pretty cool name. The dude who like gives teenagers good advice and ogles young women and has a PhD in theater and film. I don't know how you have a PhD in film or theater.
He's a mentor to a lot of big
actors. Of youth. Yeah. Well, he has sort of a NWO connection because one of his biggest pupils went on to play the Lion. Well, he went on to portray the Lion King on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
And actually play Simba.
That also, but there's a lot of Masons. Well, we're not going to reveal all this information because we're trying to.
No,
we
it's
don't
all
want we want to protect this guy's identity.
Well, Dr. Mustang will know. The real Mustang fans.
Dr. Mustang also taught that family that has a Mexican name that changed to a white name that I won't say what it is.
Oh, I believe it's
who has Masonic connection. No, you're not supposed to say it.
No, we all know
who we're talking about.
No, they'll have to dig. They'll have to dig. People know anyways. We talk about this shit.
Yeah, or maybe it wouldn't be too hard for them to dig if we reveal these names.
Look, we're all talking about it in metaphorical terms, but The point we're making is that
We're trying not to blow our cover here, bro. Come on now.
Well, no, it's not. We're covered. The surveillance state goes deep. Anyone who thinks they're uncovered is really covered. I don't know.
But
the point is, it's only people trying to hide. We're not trying to hide.
I can tell. The point is, I can tell when people are lying. I can read people's minds sometimes. Like I can tell. Like
I heard if you sit in the same position as someone and like try to think their thoughts or some shit, you can read their mind. Like you have to mirror their body language and hold that for like 10 minutes, and then No, that's what my friend said. He went to a Tony Robbins seminar 20 years ago, and he taught him that. Like, you sit in the same position as someone, and then but I think you have to coordinate it like an exercise, and then you tell someone to think something, and you try to get the impression and think what they're thinking. Like try to.
I think it's working.
Oh yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
You're doing it. Well, also you out there, if you don't believe in getting sick, you won't get sick that much. I don't know. Apparently that's what.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
It's most of the majority of the factors of how people get sick is believing that they're gonna get sick and being scared that they're gonna not be able to recover, or if they want to be sick because they don't want to go to work. A lot of times their body would get sick for them, so they have an excuse to go to work. To not go to work.
To be lazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that
you can make yourself sick just by not wanting to go to work.
I think someone I know recently has been giving themselves like stress sickness. Like they just had a fever for like a month in a row or some shit and just were totally tripping on everything. And that's what happens. Like when you're concerned about like the bills and payments and like your job and
when
all
you're
that
stressed
stuff.
Out, your mind is so preoccupied with all the stress that you eat less, you drink less water, you get dehydrated, you actually breathe less also. When you're stressed out. You forget to breathe.
Wow.
People always say, breathe, you're getting angry, breathe,
Yeah,
you're turning red,
true.
I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's why, of course, when you're mad zen and calm, you breathe super deep. And
so you forget to breathe, you forget to drink a good amount of water and stay hydrated and stuff like that.
Does that lower? Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's just good in general. But does that actually help mental calmness? It lowers
your immune system, and then it makes you more likely.
It lowers your immune system. You mean if you don't
stress because you're not going to be breathing as much and drinking as much water, so you're going to be dehydrated, and therefore your immune system is going to go down. So you're going to be more likely to get sick. That's how it works. You know what I mean?
The water's a big thing. Did we ever solve the water problem? Oh, you just say drink good tap. You'd be drinking a lot of tap?
It's also hormonal, too. Like, when you're stressed out, it produces, all kinds of hormones that just,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people want, in certain cases, they almost want to be sick to get that sympathy, pity card from everyone else. It's like, I'm so stressed out. I feel like it's such a bad place in life that I need to be sick for people to pay attention to me and sympathize with me.
Because, when you're stressed out, you eat bad food. You don't work out.
That whole detective shit.
Yeah, you don't work out. Yeah. You just fucking sleep all day or masturbate all day or whatever. Which is also bad for you, by the way. We are kind of
we don't condone it.
We're switching over now to the other side because masturbating can cause rashes and it can your dick could pretty much turn red.
We need
if you do it excessively.
We need the demasturbification of America for a bit because it's just it's certainly not helping us.
It's going too far. Sorry guys, I know we were just it was an experiment, but it's not working.
Do you think you have to
take it back?
Do you think you have to shun masturbating and sex and everything in relationships to be a truly holy person like the Dalai Lama and be really spiritual and all that and meditate all the time? Is that necessary or can you balance both?
You want to free yourself from any kind of addiction
or attachment.
A coction.
a penis should. Yeah, which all of us have to a degree or one degree or another.
Detach yourself from things that you don't like. If you like, because if you're addicted to for example cheese, that's one of my addictions. We all have addictions.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I love cheese too, of course.
If you're addicted to cheese and you eat nothing but cheese, you're gonna die pretty young. You know what I mean? It's not good. You gotta balance. You gotta have a balanced diet. You can't just have the same thing over and over and over. And it's the same thing with drinking alcohol or smoking or all this stuff. You can't be doing it over and over because you're giving your body the same thing over and over. It's just like they say, you are what you eat. And if you eat bad shit and drink stuff that's bad for you, then That's what's going to happen to you.
That's what's up?
Yeah.
Really on that level? So if you eat... But wait, you got away from the original question, didn't you?
What do you mean?
It's just the addiction. It's the addiction factor, and if you keep feeding... So it's like you could have...
Oh, yeah, I mean, we're talking about what, masturbation?
No, my question was, do you have to be like celibate / everything unmarried and like detached completely to be like a spiritual champion? Celibate?
Okay.
You know, like priests and all that.
I thought we were just talking about specifically masturbation, but
no, masturbation too. I've put that in the celibate category.
But celibacy, no, I don't think that's necessarily like
a prerequisite.
I guess, you know, like
you can
if you can do it, if you have the willpower to do it, then do it.
Right.
But for the human race to survive, we can't just tell everybody they should be celibate.
Right, but that's why most people don't.
We can't expect people to be celibate either, because priests are supposed to be celibate and they sure aren't.
Right, but the whole with the wrong way. Well, no, the point
is, they just think little boys don't count.
But I think the point is for a lot of this Jedi-like practice, which is that most people, their goal in life is just going to be, you know, have a family, have kids. They're not going to aim for these really lofty, like, transformation ideas and whatever.
And if you think that, like, you want to be the Dalai Lama or something like that, I mean, like, I'm sorry, I know Rupert's a big fan of the Dalai Lama, but these guys are not.
They're hucky bucky.
Yeah. Most of these people who claim to be like better than everybody and like, chances are they're not. Chances are they're probably the biggest dick in the world.
They could have hookers every day. Yeah, it's just like, if you pretend to be good out in public, you're suspect. If you pretend to be bad, you're suspect too. But when you're good,
the last like 5 popes probably every pope we've ever had has like basically been covering up some kind of like corruption scandal.
And they certainly pretend to be very great and out in the open.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just we have to stop doing that, and we're doing that to Obama a lot too. You know what I mean? But we have to stop doing that to these so-called great world leaders.
Now, do you think
worshiping them and thinking like even for Ron Paul? I'll say that there's the same thing for Ron Paul. Like people just worshiping him, and
you had to bring it in.
And I'll say the same thing about Jesus Christ.
You went there, dog.
Jesus Christ didn't want to be worshipped as a person. He wanted people to follow his actions.
Well, yeah. Well, we live in this culture. We live in this culture of celebrity, and that's the thing, which is you hear a lot of talk about freedom and everyone wanted to have their own freedom and rights and all that, which is true. But at the same time, there's something in the human family that wants to follow these charismatic leaders or just be a fan. Like I'm a fan of people. I'm not a total like writing off, but I don't know. I'm not like. I certainly don't accept the dogma from one thing exclusively, but I don't know.
But you gotta basically, it's all about use your own judgment. You know, we have free will and we have the ability to use our own judgment about what we think about what somebody is saying. You don't have to believe everything they're saying just because you agree with one thing they're saying. You don't have to agree with everything they're fucking saying, and that's what freedom is all about. Like that's why I hate when, people call me a Republican or a Democrat or anything. People used to call me a Democrat all the time.
But why not? Isn't that their freedom to do so? Even though you're not, just because someone wants to label
to hate it.
You're really hating the hating.
I'm just saying, I hate the haters.
You gotta understand that.
No, I love the haters, but because they make you famous. I hate their sin. I love the sinner, but hate the sin.
You hate the sin of hating.
You can hate the sin, but still have love for the sinner. You know what I mean?
But doesn't that excuse so much bad behavior, though? You just be like, no, it's just the sin. Like, it's not really them. That's not their real self.
Because if you truly love somebody, that means you respect them enough to want them to learn their lesson and understand, the truth and know the truth. And you don't want somebody to live in a lie. You want somebody to understand the truth and know, what they did is bad. You know what I'm saying?
But are there people that you really just hate / really dislike? Intensely dislike. There's got to be.
Dislike.
I mean, there's got to be. Everyone is not feeling someone. You can't pretend like. I don't know. Even Bob Marley, I'm sure, was mad pissed at certain people. I'm not saying you have to reveal their names or say how they are to you, but.
I mean, I don't know. I could name a bunch of people. Dick Cheney. Like I think
that's the first one that comes to mind.
Intensely dislikable. I think Obama's really intensely dislikable.
Oh hell yeah!
He's very snooty. You know what I mean?
He's the sausage king of Chicago, acting a bit snooty.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Barry O's day on.
Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I would love to. Maybe I could smoke a joint with Obama or drink a beer with him. Maybe I could do that, or maybe he'd be a complete asshole and say sorry.
As much as you,
Secret Service, this guy's smoking marijuana.
As much as you claim to hate Obama, as much as you think you hate Obama and claim to, if he invited you for a beer, you'd be like, oh shit, this could be crazy.
And maybe Dick Cheney is like the nicest guy in
no, he probably
the world,
is.
like,
I told you this, but
he's like, hey, I want to make you some cookies.
I told you this, but I met Michael Reagan, Ronald Reagan's adopted son,
and he's like the
at a sushi joint, and he's like the nicest guy ever. Yeah, he had like a pink sweater on. He's like the least threatening guy you can imagine.
But then
and
on
yet,
this radio show, he's like, we gotta put truthers in concentration camps.
Exactly, dog. He's like,
that means that's what he thinks about you.
Oh shit. But not like in an everyday sense.
You're a Uden.
Yeah, but it's like, so he just be the like, he didn't say I want to put you in a camp of FEMA
but
like
he thinks it.
level. But maybe that's the thing.
Because
maybe
he doesn't know you're a truther. Just like you know, if
maybe
you were a Nazi, he wouldn't know you were a Jew.
But that's the thing. If I tried to pull some like We Are Change shit, when I saw him outside a restaurant, and I was like, Michael Reagan, what do you say about like the Bilderberg meeting right now? What's your comment on that? Nice. Maybe he still would be nice, but he'd be like, oh, that's crazy. You know, it wouldn't be.
I met Lawrence O'Donnell. You know?
Yeah.
I was working at this restaurant, and Lawrence
Larry,
O'Donnell
yeah, but
he's a local.
He's a little Vegemite. I guarantee. I've seen him interviewed by We Are Change, and he's like epi douche. He's an epic douche, but he also got interviewed again and was cooler.
Yeah, when I said he doesn't live around here, he lives around the place where I used to work. But
Lodonnell said in Santa Monica they don't pack guns. They don't cling to their guns. In other words, like they don't send their kids to school. They don't put a gun in the lunchbox when they send their kids to them schooling areas around there. You know.
Well, duh. I mean,
that place.
Pack a gun in their lunchbox. Who does that?
No, I mean that's my turn to phrase. No, facts? I made that up, schmucky.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
In your exaggerative sense.
Yeah, he said like I like it in Santa Monica where when your kid goes to play with another kid, like your parents don't have a gun in the house, most likely.
Actually, if you go like more towards like the area where I have like a friend that lives in that area, like north of Montana area, it's a total coincidence that my last name is Montana, of course, but it's
no one's hearing it. Yeah,
it's people do actually have guns around there.
Of course they have them.
Yeah, because there's a lot of rich people there.
Well, yeah, if you can afford a house, you can afford a gun or many guns or 50 guns.
And then if you go even deeper into Malibu, where all the celebrities live at, like Steven Spielberg and Danny DeVito.
No, Danny DeVito. That's your example of a celebrity.
You know they're packing heat.
No, but actually
a lot of celebrities, like they have stalkers, they have all kind. They have security guards. They have
No, but a lot of celebs live all across this great land of La, or so I've heard of. My brother,
the
Don Sycamore. Yeah, but like even around more in the West LA, Palisadian, Brentwoodian area, they live there too. Because they want.
You mean in the Sycamore area, which is still totally coincidence?
Well, no, my brother Don Sycamore lives there, right? And Seymour Sycamore has been to LA.
So your brother Don Sycamore lives near Sycamore.
What? Oh, what?
Is he your twin brother?
Oh wait, who's Sycamore besides me?
Oh, I thought there was a street called Sycamore.
Oh, well, there is a street called Sycamore in this place called Hollywood. I don't know if you've heard, like the physical town of Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Maybe you've been there. Yeah, I don't know. Or your cousin's been there or something.
Hollywood was just a group of liberals or something.
Oh, like no. It is not just a coalition of limousine
coalition of, like,
driving. Yeah, the COC, Coalition of Communists.
Just of Kentucky, right?
Of Kentucky, yeah, Homecom.
So Hollywood is like where?
No, Hollywood is an actual physical city on the map, which is its own. Yeah, that's what people don't realize too.
I've heard about Hollywood. It seems to be a place where like a lot of gays,
gay orgies transcend.
A lot of the gays seem to hang around there.
Well,
that would be more like San Francisco, I guess.
That would be more of the West Kanye Hollywood.
So Hollywood is like San Francisco, only maybe not as big as San Francisco. Not as gay as San Francisco either.
Well,
there's a lot of punk rockers. Well, punk rockers look like gays, but
look like fugways.
But they're not. They just dress like fags. I mean, gays.
Wait, but in San Fran, the gays are more tightly packed together because it is a smaller city.
I know you would like that, wouldn't you?
You loved it. You brought it up. They're more, it's a smaller town. This is a very spread out town around here or not around there. I don't even know where we're all at this point. But no, the point is all the big cities,
very popular,
all the big cities will have a pretty large gay population, even like Chicago and Atlanta and stuff, even though it's shunned out there.
Right here, Austin, Texas has the fastest growing gay population.
All of it's growing. They literally turned gay into something cool. Like now guys want to fucking, I don't know, suck some dick at the party.
Is legal, yeah.
Oh God, get it out my face. Literally.
That's old news by now. Now it's all about Egypt. Let's talk about that.
Egypt. Yeah, what about gay? I guarantee you there's mad fruit.
It's going to be a gay president that's going to replace Morsi.
There's mad tutti frutti in Egypt, I'm sure, too, right?
They'll have some moderate... They'll try to put a moderate Muslim in there. Maybe you'll have a woman. Maybe a woman
like
president.
Justin Bieber is sneaking carbon tax and homosexual messages into all of his songs, which are heard worldwide by the Egypts and the everybody's of the globe. So yeah, that's where they're all stuck in there.
Justin Bieber, I'm a big fan of Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, after what I just said, I can see why.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Justin Bieber and what he promotes. And I don't hear much homosexuality.
What does he promote?
Music.
What does he promote?
You know, love,
like tax credentials, and
making
shit?
Babies.
Really?
You know, baby.
That's what he says.
Promotes,
it promotes
population growth.
So wait, he's a tool to maintain white
population growth is a good thing.
Oh, you do, don't you? You really think that's...
Unlike you believe in population reduction, so you're in line with the New
World Order. Champion.
Mowing.
No, I don't think it has to be like that. It's just like, no, I don't care if the population's the same or grows or whatever, but we have to change our sustainability model, as they call it, to just, it has to be different. We can't live with this many people. We can't live with this many people in our current paradigm.
We need to free the market more so that to allow more people to grow and start more businesses, and build more communities and build more towns. That's what we need to do.
If there's not,
because the population is going to keep growing. The problem is not the population actually growing; is that we don't have enough places for these people to live.
Didn't I just say that basically?
Yeah. So we need to build more houses.
We don't have enough money.
We have desert land all over America that the federal government doesn't even want us to touch.
Dude, we could put people like in underground cities if they had to, shit like that. Like there's plenty of land, there's plenty of ocean, but again, it would take these massive things. Like it would take the people / the lords / the politicians, everyone to.
Now. We're like private enterprises going into space.
Yeah, but we're just
going.
Yeah, but we're just going into space. We're not going anywhere in space until the Mars mission.
NASA is no longer funded by the government.
Come on.
Now they're off the leach. They can still send.
No, they're going to be even more corrupt. They're going to be a private company, like a stock.
NASA's working more on exploration now. Like they pretty much run like Google Earth and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but they're shining.
Yeah.
They're talking.
By the way, NASA confirmed that global warming is actually global
a hoax.
Cooling.
It's really cooling.
That carbon dioxide actually cools things down, doesn't heat things up.
They're talking about a manned mission to Mars. Who knows what's going to say? I mean. You know, we got mad steps to take, but we don't know how habitable and habitual everything is. I mean, we're talking about this off-planet technology. I don't know if they want mad people to live. There's mad people living in space right now, right? In the space station.
Red Bull had a guy jump from space back to Earth.
Right.
You know
I seen that. That was cray. But
Red Bull gave him wings.
But again, that's not exploration of anything beyond the Earth, even though it's outside. Can you
believe that happened? Like, that was amazing.
I believed it, and that was incredible, but I also saw footage of a guy who did basically the same thing in, like, the 50s. In, 1958. Yeah, it was the craziest thing ever. Like, from really fucking high up. Yeah, from pretty much where that guy was. It was the same thing, basically.
Really?
They did the same stunt, like, 50 years later. But now it was Red Bull, and, yeah. And the same thing, dude jumped out with the parachute.
The guy died the first time?
No, you could see him. Like, you can look it up. Yeah, like... OG skydiving from space thing. It's still dope. Yeah, what the dude did now is like insanity.
But it was probably NASA that did it the first time.
It was some shit. It was whatever it was.
The government. This time
it was a private company with their little...
Yeah, exactly. It's proof that the free market can work. You know what I mean?
But it worked for what? Like, that's cool, but it doesn't do anything for, like, people.
What it is the government had a monopoly over space exploration with NASA. And once they defunded NASA, it gave an opportunity for all from the free market, like Red Bull and Virgin Airlines,
honestly,
to get in on the game.
It's just a function of technology. You know, it's just, of course now there's all this other this new stuff, these new materials, and people with a lot of money that can afford to work on spaceships, and then we know more about all the physics and everything. So yeah, we're gonna try to explore. People are gonna try to explore.
No other country is doing that. Every other country that is in space it's the government that's in space. It's not like
people, but you have this obsessive thing like somehow people who aren't in government are better than those that are, which is not necessarily the case. I just don't think government is just made up of people who wanted to be in government for one reason or another. Yeah, they're bureaucrats and
there's a relationship.
I don't think Red Bull's doing
relationship between private enterprises.
Like, see, I see Red Bull. I see Red Bull doing that stunt as a bad thing, whereas you think it's great. I think it's retarded that this lame corporation, which makes a shitty drink,
they're not using tax money. Number one,
that's they're using they're using dumb people's hard cash that they buy at a convenience store.
I don't buy Red Bull. So
I don't either.
I don't get it. It's not my cash. They're not using my money.
Yeah, but through one way or another, they're getting like some sort of subsidy or something from the government or a tax break or some shit like that.
I'm all for tax breaks.
No, but I guarantee you they have the same level of corruption as any other corporation on their level.
I think
on their same level.
More tax breaks. I think everyone should get a tax.
Yeah, but you just said end corporate welfare. Corporate welfare comes in the form of giving them massive tax breaks, which saves them billions of dollars. So you're contradicting yourself.
I'm against the government giving them money out of our pockets. I'm not against them keeping their own
It'll
money.
all come out of your pockets somehow, no matter what.
No, because that money can be used to hire more people. It can be used to do good things.
There was a song in the 80s where this guy, I forgot the artist, but it says, "I've seen the future, I can't afford it." And then it's like, can you help me be a millionaire, basically, so I can literally live my own life down the road.
People can't afford to start their own businesses and shit like that because once they do, they get swarmed.
But it's because, but guess what? You know what? Also, it's just a sheer function of not every business is going to succeed. Most of them aren't. So no matter whether you're an entrepreneur,
we have to free the market. We have to allow more competition. We have to allow.
No, that just allows for more failed businesses because 99% of businesses are going to fail most likely.
But there are also more successful ones. Now, yes, there's going to be a lot of failure. But that's the way it is. There's always booms and busts.
Listen, guess what? It doesn't matter how many successful big companies there are if no one can buy their shit. It doesn't matter how.
It's a revolution in the market to overthrow the big corporations like McDonald's and all the crazy shit,
AKA Five Fingers ish.
We need to make it easier for like organic foods in the market, for competition in technology and competition in space travel and all these things like that. It would be that's what's going to solve this.
No, it's going to be cooperation, not competition. Your outmoded vision is wrong.
But that's what happens in competition is you have
cooperation.
You cooperate.
Yeah, but you have corrupt. You have corrupt cooperation to defeat everyone else and come out on top rather than to do what's good for everybody.
Make alliances and stuff like that.
No, but it turns into a war. It turns into a shell game.
But when you have a government that allows this kind of stuff and that lets some people off the hook and while putting others in prison, then they get to pick the winners and losers. And
we can't have them picking winners and losers.
Yeah, but that's why these big corporations are on top. It's because the government is protecting them and giving them bailouts and shit like that.
But the people don't mind because they love these companies. Everyone wants Coca-Cola and fucking, I don't know, Treadstone tires and fucking NASCAR. And I mean, they want these things to keep going. Even banks, when we say we're mad at banks, no, everyone needs one. Everyone uses one. Overall, we like having money, right? You like the ability to have money, so you need a bank.
That's why we need more choice. We need more choices.
We have them all now. But more false choice does not make things better.
No, we need better choices. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, we need to go out there and do it ourselves. Is what I'm saying. You're right. Like it's gonna take people.
Do you like to do it yourself?
It's gonna take a lot of people.
I don't think boycott because for everyone that
like Jack Blood says, vote with your money.
Yeah, but for everyone that boycotts something, there's gonna be 100 other people that don't give a shit and boycott. I don't see Chick-fil-A about to shut down. They got boycotted, But they also got mad publicity.
Yeah, exactly, because it also helped them too. Yeah.
So if a corrupt media exists to serve a corrupt corporate structure, they're always going to come out on their side and give them publicity, even if it's so-called negative.
It's about the market speed. We have a lot more power. Our buying power is way. Well, our voting power
really
doesn't exist. Our buying power is actually the only form of democracy
No, it's not.
We have left.
How's your buying power in effect when you ain't got no money? As a whole thing. So fuck all that. I mean, yeah, if you're like mad money spending things all the time and you're in a group of people but it's like, how's a broke person? I mean, yeah, you can choose to not buy stuff, but you're still gonna buy something. Like you're still gonna want like a new pair of shoes or jeans or food.
I know plenty of broke people that don't have money to buy healthy food, but they have money to buy cigarettes and alcohol.
Sure, but those are addictions again. Those are addictions, and you're not gonna really.
Yeah, but these are cigarettes and alcohol. I mean, people have to find the will to get rid of these addictions.
But
nobody's gonna do it for them. You know what I mean?
But until we literally have like a utopian society, which I'm sure you would think is not true or agree is not true, it doesn't exist, right? So until then, until we're in that magical state, we're not gonna have people where people don't need to be addicted to drugs and like.
No, but people should be free to be addicted to drugs if they want to be. I think, you know what I mean.
Of course, free to be.
You know, I think it should be up to the individual to make that decision. You know what I'm saying?
But it's also that. But yeah,
drugs are part of the free market.
Right? But like you said, there's people that can buy booze and cigs, but won't buy farmers market, shit like that, and that's all good. That's freedom.
What we gotta end is the relationship between corporations and government.
And government are the buzzwords.
You know
No, that is
because
not
we
intelligent
can't have
sounding.
government picking winners and losers. Come on.
What do you mean relations? It's the same fucking people.
101.
See, this is why you think government corporations are the same people. So it's not going to be like one's going to be good and one's better. They're both going to be in collusion. They're the same arms of the octopus.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't try to fight that.
No, you fight them all. The whole point is you're supposed to fight people that are
fight it with your money, like
in power, so called.
The thing is, like,
actually not. You're supposed to gain your own power.
Educated and willing to stop buying from McDonald's, which, you know, I did buy a McDonald's cheeseburger the other day, but
dude, every time I go buy
be willing, and I'm sorry, maybe I'm being a hypocrite about that too, but we have to be willing to, like,
dude, every time I go by a McDonald's, there's mad people there, and there's like long car lines or the drive-through. So really, all this supersize me and everything, it's really only giving it more publicity, right?
But I mean, what is your solution? What do we do? We pull a Egypt, we pull a Tahrir Square, and just storm. Maybe we should. Maybe we should be more like the Egyptians. I think maybe the Egyptians are doing what our forefathers.
Honestly, I'm more in line with sort of like what Rupert told us, which is more of a silent It's more about non-compliance and like a inner protest than it is about hitting the streets with signs and shit. It's more about like,
I'm talking about. I'm talking about boycotting.
Like it's really, honestly, you want to get real corny from a so-called cynic. It's really all about following your dreams. It's like quit your job, stop feeding negative energy.
When I talk about
go do what you want to do. No, I agree.
When I say we got to free up the market, we got to allow more people to start their own businesses. Like, you know, like there's a lot of laws and regulations that can stop me from starting my own business. Like, I want to start my own home-based business and record people
but not
on
really.
my laptop and whatever.
Can do it in cash.
It could take up to a year for me to be able to even start the business.
Yeah, but I mean, we have hard cash still. Maybe not for long. We don't have a cashless society yet. But I mean, you could do an underground, under-the-table service for people under the table.
It'd still be illegal.
And get cash. Well, I mean, no one cares. It's like if you can make enough money to get by and it's all cash and you don't have to report any of it.
It's still illegal. So
technically it's
blackmail me or whatever.
Yeah, technically it's illegal. I mean,
or whatever.
The IRS is going to want you to file for taxes no matter what, even if you make like fucking $100 a year teaching piano or something.
Yeah, there's like a million new IRS agents and shit like that who are just itching to find reasons to fucking audit anyone.
But at the same time, it's sort of like the NSA with wiretapping everything. They're only going to go after the big fish. They're not going to go after you when you have $1,000 in the bank. They're going to wait till you have like a condo or something they could take a piece of or fuck with. And when you haven't paid them for the last 10 years.
With the technology that they have nowadays, like they can go on Craigslist and try to, basically try to sting operate on any person, anybody on Craigslist putting an ad out and try to find out if this.
So you said is like Craigslist is like deeply NSA monitored and all that shit, big time. They watch
Craigslist very
like
closely,
like hawks with an eagle eye.
And there's a lot of prostitutes on Craigslist. You know, like
that's why you said
as masseuses.
Because I told you about my friend who posted themselves as a weed dealer, basically as a. Not like a delivery person. But yeah, they do that. They put ads for like bud tenders and delivery and all this shit out there.
Your friend is an idiot. That.
I know. Fuck that guy. Is a fucking schmucky McGee. But just a little. But again, just a little test. I mean, I think he told me he even got like a custody out of it one time. But yeah, it's all crapshoot. It's not worth the fucking risk.
It's the NSA thing goes deep. Like I hear stories about the NSA will basically. They'll take all the pictures from your Facebook profile, which anybody can do, by the way, and like create a fucking profile that looks exactly like your profile.
Oh yeah, and I heard this shit.
And pretend to be you and add all your friends and pretend to be like, oh, I just started a new profile.
And they have apps and shit where it's like one guy at his computer can control like 30 social media accounts at the same time, and like they all look like different people, and they can all post. Yep,
I mean, they do this with celebrities a lot. But check this out. Now they I hear stories about them doing this, like posing as like you and stuff like that.
Right.
And try to talking to your friends into like in order to get information from your friends about you and stuff like that. Where you're gonna be and shit like that.
Right. Like, oh, did you see me at that thing and that thing? Yeah, I've had that happen before, even years ago, where someone...
And they can, like, also, they can maybe, like, chat with, like, some underage girls or something like that, or some, like, you know...
Yeah, it's like, look, kids. It was you. Yeah, look, we have it on record.
Exactly,
it's your profile.
Exactly, and then make it look like, oh, it's your profile. And you started this profile, it's your name, it's your picture and everything. When technically anybody on Facebook can actually... download your pictures.
Yeah, and with
all your pictures, unless they're all set to private, which a lot of people forget to do anyway.
And with Facebook, it would be much harder to have like an alibi because you couldn't just say, "Oh, I was somewhere else," because you always have it with you on your phone and shit, and like your computer and everything. Like you'd have to prove it was coming from a different IP address.
I think I have to do this from my Facebook page. I don't know how do you do that? Is there a way to privatize your pictures on Facebook so that nobody can download them?
I'm sure there is, but I'm no expert. I could talk to my friend who would know.
We have to figure that out because technically anybody could download these pictures and pretend to be me or pretend to be you and like talk to some underage kids and like get caught.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and then all of a sudden like you get framed, you know what I mean? You get framed and it could be like some kind of a big sting operation, you know, Chris Hansen style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only instead of the little girl being an agent, it's really an agent impersonating you.
Man, you know I mean? The hacking goes deep. I mean, it really is. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just there's so much with the data digitization. It's just nothing is truly safe. It's basically okay just because, again, they can't get everyone. But every single person basically has been hacked. At this point, if you've ever had an email account, you're hacked. And Facebook, like, I don't know, I'm sure you've seen... I got a message the other day, someone I never talked to, and they send me some, you know, fake-ass message, which like for, you know, some spam website, and it's like, it had my brother's name in there. Somebody's like, I talked to, and he used my brother's first name, and he thinks the product is great. You know? Let me show... And,
yeah, but even if you're not a hacker, that's what I'm saying. Even if you're just a regular schmo, you can create a Facebook page.
Sure. Even just a stalker.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can create a Facebook page for anyone that you have pictures
There's
of.
so many fake, like, you know, fucking...
All you gotta do is create
Ryan Reynolds
an email
Facebook
account.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a new email account or whatever, you could just create a new Facebook page. Email seems to
be like the pipeline through which a lot of this NSA type stuff goes. Like Snowden literally said, I can hack anyone if I have an email address. So all he needs is your...
Bill O'Reilly calls him Snowden.
Come on.
It's like Edward Snowden.
Oh, with his little like Snowden is a traitorous little butt monkey.
Yeah. It's a traitor to this country. You should be executed.
The executioner is back. So.
We haven't talked about Zimmerman. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Zimbo man.
Big bombshell happened today.
Such a bombshell.
Big bombshell. They had Zimmerman's professor testify, who was basically saying that Zimmerman was basically like a wannabe cop, and he wanted to. He was studying to be a cop, really. He was like studying law enforcement, and his professor was teaching him about stand your ground and all this like important, you know, police, you know, precautions, you know, rules of engagement and stuff like that, which is the first thing they teach you when you want to be a man of the law.
Caporino.
You know what I mean? And
man of the law.
And we know that he was the captain of the neighborhood watch too. So
an actual captain.
Now this he said he taught, and the guy was a good student. He got straight A's.
He was Captain Sanfordia.
Right? But then when Zimmerman did an interview with his good friend Sean Hannity, he said, "Well, Sean Hannity asked him, did you know about the Stand Your Ground law and all, you know, stuff like that?" And he's like, "Oh, I never heard of Stand Your Ground.
Suck it.
This is what Zimmerman said. He was like, "Oh no." He was like shaking his head, like kind of smiling a little bit, like, "Oh no, I never heard until I saw it on the news. I never heard of that law." No.
Okay, so
but he was studying in law enforcement. He was a straight A student.
You think the Zimmerman trial will be done soon? It would be over soon.
It's a strange case. The guy has a lot of older male friends.
Don't we all?
Which is highly suspicious. I think that if you're a young guy and you're hanging out with a lot of older men, that seems very I don't know, like there's some kind of like maybe
Yeah.
a controlling kind of relationship.
Like I had a
on.
good friend.
He could be some CIA agents, like he could be a CIA patsy just being led around by his mentors, his police mentors.
Me and my friend, when we were 14 or so, starting about then, we both had a good friend that was like way older. He was like 27. He was like in his late 20s, and he would hang out with us, you know. And like we'd go to concerts and shit, and he'd get us beer. And there's nothing ever happened. There was no molesting. There was no crazy, nothing like that. But even later on, like many years later, the dude is kind of strange. Like, and this is all, you know, like he maintained an air of strange. It's like he got stranger over the years. But
this is just not. Yeah, everybody's got that one friend that's like that. But Zimmerman has like at least 3 friends that I'm aware of that are like older gentlemen, like, and just like. Not just like 10 years older than him, like they talk about like 20 to 30 years older than him.
Right.
And just
they hang deeply.
And he has one of his friends that looks like a fucking skinhead and all that, and just like one of them is like this black guy with a white beard and all that. He seems to have a lot of older men like mentoring
black
him.
Man, white beard.
Yeah. He seems to have a lot of older men like around him. Which is weird. Like I haven't seen any testimonies from any of his like younger friends, if he has any.
He's like the anti-Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Old man with a bunch of younger chiaks around him.
Yeah.
So what else is there? We never covered. Oh, remember when we were arguing like yesterday, and my other friend was over, and he was listening to the whole thing and everything. And then he texted me later. He's like, "You guys didn't argue about Paula Deen. We didn't discuss that shit." And I was like, "It's because we don't give a shit, and because it's not important. We don't disagree. Also,
it's stupid. It's just stupid.
Well, we also are in. We wouldn't have a disagreement over such a dumb topic.
You know, Trayvon Martin called Zimmerman a crazy cracker. You know, what
pussy ass cracker, right?
Well, pussy ass cracker was something that the T-shirt. That was the T-shirt. But coincidentally, that's what Trayvon Martin called him. So that's funny that they did that T-shirt because that's exactly what Trayvon Martin.
That's the reality.
Or allegedly, well, according to his own girlfriend or his friend girl or whatever. You know what I mean? Paula Deen, used a bad word or whatever. I don't give a shit. You know, I really never gave a shit about her in the first place. So I don't know how I could like give a shit less.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a shit? People like, you know. There's probably other cases of celebrities saying like crazy racist shit and you don't even know about it because the media is not talking about it. You know, like the media is barely talking about this outrage that Alec Baldwin had, like where he like called like some reporter like a fucking queen or a queer or something like that. And
just more gay slurs. I mean,
yeah,
it's just like. The media wants to cover up the fact almost that people just use so-called bad words. And the funny thing is, like, there is no bad words anyway. They're just words.
I think it's more shocking. Like, okay, like we had this debate before about with Rush Limbaugh versus Bill Maher saying it. Like, Bill Maher calling Sarah Palin a slut, and then Rush Limbaugh calling Sandra Fluke a slut.
And they both defended each other a lot.
And they both defended each other on that because it's First Amendment, freedom of speech or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, it's like, I feel the same way. It's like, you know, who, like, it's just...
Fuck them all?
Yeah, fuck them all. Like, dude, say whatever you want. Say what you mean. You know what I mean? Say what you mean to say. And,
yeah, I mean, just be like, look...
People are oversensitive. They just put so much emphasis on stuff like that.
Everyone has to do this dance and pretend like they're sorry and then back up and then go do some other shit and go away for a while and resurface and make a comeback. It's like, it's this great cycle. It's like a superhero origin story. And rise and fall. And rise again. But, yeah, I mean, look... If the so-called stick-up-their-ass diamond-butt media knew what kind of slurs were out there on a daily basis, they would poop their khakis.
It's just like, you know, like law enforcement. It's very selective. They're going to pick and choose who they want to pick on, you know what I mean? Like, they'll pick on, like, one day Charlie Sheen, and, you know, one day this, one day that, you know what I'm saying?
It's just whatever's supposedly they create. It's whatever's supposedly hot, and they create the agenda, in other words.
Yeah, they'll pick and choose. Like, they'll pick on some celebrities... And then they'll leave other celebrities alone. Like, you know, they don't care about, like, you know, for example, like, so they'll let a lot of politicians off the hook for shit. Like, that they would not let, like, a Wesley Snipes get away with. Like, they'll let Mitt Romney get away with, like, with holding his tax records, but not Wesley Snipes or Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean? So it's very selective, just like law enforcement.
I wonder what the difference is in those cases. Yeah.
So it's like, there's no difference. If you hate cops, then you should hate government, because there's really no difference. Government is law enforcement. That's what it is.
Well, they make law.
It's who tells the cops what to do. It's who tells the military
what lawmaker. The people everyone snipes at and all the clowns in Congress are their lawmakers. Then the police are law enforcers. Yeah. And then the military are policy enforcers.
Exactly. So you should hate the people who makes the law, not the people who enforces the law.
Hate the maker, not the
That's why
faker.
I don't really hate the cops. I hate the government more than I hate the cops. So that's for damn sure.
Funky butt loving.
Yeah, don't hate the person whose job is to enforce the law. Hate the person who wrote the law in the first place.
All right. So what's our theme as we wrap things up, or
I don't know, any predictions?
No, there was no predictions.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
We're prepunitions. We've already made
Sorry,
those.
No precautions for tonight.
No. I told you it was there was gonna be. Now they're getting all the interesting events, or a lot more interesting events.
Tomorrow's 4th of July.
Is it tomorrow or whenever?
Yeah.
They'll be later in July. I remember like last year after that there was Batman shooting, and then there was all kinds of shit that happened in the latter half of 2012 near the end time prophecy. So now we're in the 2013 moon cycle calendar. Course, so it's gonna be wild style.
And all these big shooting events that have been going on. I like to call them the AR-15 events, because it seems like the
top 15
like
AR-15
is the gun being blamed for every one of these incidents. And
you know what?
It's interesting that there's the Islamic thing comes up a lot too lately. You know what I'm saying?
It always will
because there was a shooting in that city, Santa Monica.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
The guy's name was John Samir Zawahiri. So there's a Muslim name right there. And now we have the Batman shooter who's converted to Islam. You know what I'm saying? So there's the Islamic element is they're trying to connect that in there, of course. Whether they're, it's already there, obviously, but it's part of the story. It's part of the script, whatever that is.
I think we're going to see...
You get what I'm saying?
There can be some shootings, but there will be also more
emphasis.
Interesting, unrelated story. You know what I thought was just a random video that popped into my head from a couple years back? Did you ever see that fighter plane crash during the air show in Reno? It just crashed into the bleachers. Killed 7 people or something. It was just fucking crazy shit.
Heard of it.
Maybe something like that, on a big... I mean, it was just gnarly video, just a plane crashing into, field with the crowd. But anyways.
I gotta...
You gotta go.
Let's wrap it up, man. I'm kind of hungry. I gotta go get something.
You go get some food?
Yeah, I gotta grab some food real quick.
It's like that? What, you got low blood sugar?
Yeah.
Well, we've been eating my special...
I actually haven't eaten all day.
Cake crackers, though.
Oh, just that. Yeah, that's the first thing I ate today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what, you're going to get up to the supermarket right there? With all the GMOs right there?
The supermarket that's in my kitchen that I call my fridge. Yeah.
The kitchen market?
Yeah.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, we're just sorry. I'm tired
hunger
right now.
break. Montana can no longer persevere.
I have no more energy.
Yeah.
My apologies to our listeners. I can no longer do this show.
Well,
just right now.
We've gave them plenty of content over the last, I don't know.
I think you guys are good, right? You guys are good?
You good? All right, cool.
All right, IJS Radio.
Peace.
We out.
Wheezy.
Too tired to do the theme song.
Ba-boom. Ba-bam.